Catano. Victor, take it from here.
Good morning. My name is Sir Persevere, really Victor Catano, and I'm here today to present our 6TP Club. It is a club for wellness and for stillness and for development of goals and dreams. And today we're going to take you through the 6 transformative paths that we believe that if you follow, these paths will lead you to a great transformation. Today I'm going to take you, Today I'm going to take you through a presentation that we hope will distort your mind a little bit and help you see your life from a different perspective. And we hope that in the end, that you will have a different concept of what it means to scale as a person and to grow. So bear with me. We're using new technology today, so I'm learning on the fly here. And here we go. Can you see my screen?
Let me see. I don't see it. Can you?
So I'm trying to. Let's see. So it's okay. I gotta click the button share. Can you see anything that I'm doing?
No.
Let's see. You're on the show. Present. So I am. Let me click the share button again. So can you see what I'm doing?
No, we don't see it.
See, it says StreamYard is sharing your screen. On my end, it says that it's sharing my screen.
We are live. You can present it. We'll hear it.
All right, here we go.
Are you speaking? Do you hear? Are you here? Are you there, Victor?
So it was going. You couldn't hear it, right?
No, we're gonna hear.
So let me try again. StreamYard, share. Maybe it's share a video file. Let's see. I wanted to just share my screen and sound. So let's see. Share screen. Let's see. Screen sharing, 2 monitors. Oh, it says you need 2 monitors to share. Okay. So let's see. Share. Also share tab audio. Share the entire screen. Okay. Share audio. And share. Now, can you see?
We only see you.
You only see me? All right. Yep. What about this? Can you see that?
Mm-mm.
Let's see. You're on the show. Present. So it says, is there something that you need to do on your end to let me share my screen? Because it says that I'm sharing my screen and audio on mine.
No, I don't see anything from my part from here.
Um, all right, I'm going to stop sharing again. I'm going to try it again from the beginning. It says you click the star button. You want to share screen. Share screen. I want to share the entire screen. And I want to share audio. And it says, be careful sharing screen audios. Other participants will hear themselves. It says, got it. And it says, you are now sharing.
No.
And you only see me.
Oh. So we're live. We're trying to. Victor Catano is putting together his program for 60p. We have Gregory Danizar, we have Rosaura Van Rail. And remember, 60p, it's a system that we bring complete paths. So for your transformation, wherever you are, we used to do it at 5 a.m. in the morning. Now we do at 6 a.m., but you can do it wherever you are. It's a special program when you go through a process of steps and paths that will completely change your life. It's like an operating system for wellness. It's your non-medicine digital program that you can take. Usually, what we do, we go in 15 minutes, half an hour, to an hour each, and we take your pill. You take your pill wherever you are, wherever you go. And you start with the stillness, which is the first step. I always say to myself, how can I go and be someone who have a sense of legacy to the world? How can I go and present myself to the world with something that I can do that have some meaning in my life? What is the discipline that I have to use every day? And I discuss it with Victor Catano, discuss it with Gregory and Rosario. What is the best way that I can go there and present what I do, and also identify that what I do and make sense with that what I do? That sometimes is kind of very difficult. How, Victor, you started the 60p process? What was that for you when you started the 60p program and system?
Well, when I started from a place of hardship, with my health, and just by starting by getting quiet and journaling each day and building on each of the 6 steps, I eventually learned that I could do more. I got, I scaled in terms of my health. I brought my numbers down, and I became a superior person and a better communicator all throughout.
Right, so it's changed you health. So for somehow you started with a challenge, and from that challenge, everything is starting to change for you. And what else helped you out to be and to stay in this process of health that it took you some challenges at the beginning, some difficulties until now? How do you
Well,
see yourself in the future?
it was following better habits. It was establishing them first, understanding the places where I was failing, highlighting those places, and deciding that I was going to be different. And when I laid out a blueprint for how I wanted to be different, I was able to actually start following a plan. And before that, I didn't really have a plan. I was just kind of tinkering and seeing what works, seeing what doesn't work, and ultimately you get excited, you follow fads, especially like during New Year's. We all come up with these new goals and dreams, and by like the end of January, they're all on the shelf. And um, this year created a sustainability and allowed me to continue beyond those 30 days. And on top of that, there was always a group of people there to hold me accountable.
And in your case, Rosario, how was it for you? How did you discover the 60p path, the system for you? How was it for you?
Well, I was looking for a spot to reset myself. I had, like Victor, not one challenge, but numerous challenges. And I wanted to just find a new beginning for many things.
And how you evolved in the program? How you came to be, use it for yourself, and then that you can be presented to everyone. How was that process for you?
Well, I realized that part of resetting yourself have many little constituencies, many little things, them like the 60p pills. So I started to not only address the challenges, but address many areas of my life, many areas in which I needed to do something different. Like the sport passionist path, that one showed me that in order to address any health issues, exercise was a very important component. But that it didn't need a gym, it didn't need a membership, that it could be done anywhere, any place. And time shouldn't be a handicapping condition. It could be done in your room, in the sidewalk, anywhere you could do exercise. So in fact, the 60p shows me that this is not something additional. This is something that should be and it is part of your life, and that you could incorporate it in any situation.
That is true. And your process to become a certified 60p, how do you feel that yourself?
Well, that was amazing. I was able to learn many skills, many um, aspects of the six different paths. And those aspects made me become better personally, and I am able to share it with others.
Okay, excellent. What about you, Gregory? How was the process of 60p? How you discover? How it changed you?
I was blessed with an invitation to come, and one of the things I was looking for is something to quiet the noise in my life. So starting the day very early when the birds and the trees are chirping and getting centered really established clarity in my day and higher productivity in my work.
All right. And the process of becoming a certified coach, how was it for you?
I believe teaching is in my heart and it's something that I enjoy doing, but just being able to transfer some of the knowledge that I received to others has been fun.
That is excellent. So, which one of the path it's the one that is for you prominent, Victor? Is the stillness? It's the scaling dreamer. It's the so it's the stillness. It's the authorship path. It's the thinker path. It's the sport passionist. It's the clear path. Which one do you say it's key for you? Which one do you think is more important, or for you are all of them the same, or they have different significance for you, Victor?
So I love all of the different paths, but stillness is the one that is the most near and dear to me because it's the place where I just get quiet. It's the place where I find myself, especially after all the calamity that you face in the world. It's a place where I can just hear myself think. And sometimes I don't even need to hear myself think. I just need to just shut down, restore, be quiet, and just let myself reset.
Okay. And for you, scaling dreamer past, Rosaura, what it means for you when you are on the scale and dreaming path?
Well, the scaling dreamer path is like we have so many dreams from very small, from very young age. We dream of a better life. We dream of an education. We dream of a better job, different careers. We are filled with dreams. And the scaling dreaming path shows us to take those dreams and turns them into reality. And not only leave the ending open, but set a limit, set a time, set a goal, and when we are going to accomplish that goal. So the dreaming scaling path shows us of taking a dream and turn it into reality, which is no longer a dream, it's a reality, it's part of who we are.
Okay, excellent. And in this case of the creator pass, Gregory, what it means for you? What's how can you use this one?
Well, I believe that we all have gifts and inside, and oftentimes we're not aware of it. So tapping into your creativity discovers your interests, discovers your talent, and shares with others great things you could do. So always paying attention to writing down and expressing some of the things that you're doing, new, old, and growing, is important. So I love it.
Excellent. And that's the creator pass. And in your case, Victor, what about the sport passionate path? You know what it meant to you, and how can you bring it to people to use it for them for the benefits?
So the sports passionate path was where I actually put most of my health goals into action. It was the place where I started realizing that I needed to have more activity. And one of the best ways to have more activity is to run every day. And so I started, you know, the Jeff Galloway method of run, walk, run, walk, run, and each day I just did a little more. And, I started at first by walking for a minute, running for a minute, walking for a minute, running for a minute. And then ultimately it was two and two, and then four and four. And then I just started doing, when it was just too hard to do like 10 minutes, I would do, 10 minutes and rest for four. But I would try the walk, run with some sort of proportion. And I would make sure that when I was walking, I wasn't just shutting down, that I continued to walk at a medium pace and kept my breath going.
Okay, so the authorship was important for you because it's like physical. You have you wanted to go to that place when you can see better and you can like have vitality and things like that. What's the purpose of the sport passionate path?
Well, the sports passionate path, um, one, there's nothing like running and walking and being able to think while you're doing that, right? Because it's just you, and most of the time, just you and nature. And I would be, walking, thinking, dreaming, doing a bunch of things. And out of that, I developed a bunch of different stories that gave me um, a few things to journal here and there. And the more and more that I journaled, the more that I realized that I had the semblance of a book. And now I am close to writing, to finishing a book.
Excellent. In my case, authorship path is the way I started. So I knew that if I can write every day, if I can read every day, I can have some sense of legacy. You know, as a poet, I went to the University Autonomous Santo Domingo writing process. I became a poet. I, you know, got in contact with the most amazing writers on my time. You know, I came to New York. I met um, one of the most amazing Mexican uh, writer poets, Octavio Paz, is a Nobel Prize winner. And in this new school, I could see him. I can ask questions. He went to NYU, a big conference, and that really impressed me from the beginning. It's like see Octavio Paz live before dying, uh, you know, Nobel Prize winner from Mexico, someone that we admired when we become a poet. So we said, you know, this is gonna be my path, like becoming an author, writing, bringing my ideas to humanity, and I wanted to do it like with a book. And being in the authorship past, also bringing ideas every day, every year, bringing books to humanity was part of what's one of the past that inspired me, to become a police author. Not just writing, because you write, note here, note there, story there, have it in your mind, but you to push yourself to write is really inspiring me. And finally, Rosario, what is the thinker past mean to you?
Oh, the thinker path. That's where knowledge begins. That's where we can get knowledge in many different genres. We could have poetry. We could learn about the history, the things that happens when we were not around. We could read books about different ways of solving a problem. We could read so many unlimited knowledge. So that's where we can make our vision become reality. We could see how other people did it. And in fact, it is a wealth of knowledge that we can get from the thinker path by reading, by becoming lifelong learners. We could learn many things in the thinker path.
It's amazing. Victor, what do you have for us today? So we have the space we started, and what is in your mind for us?
Well, what is in my mind is that I can't, I'm disappointed that I couldn't get this great presentation up and running for you. It is destroying my inner being right now. um, but hey, life grows you lemons, and sometimes you just got to make lemonade out of that. And that's what I'm doing right now. I'm sipping the lemonade, and now I'm trying to find the sugar.
I know. So your life, what can you say to the people that are watching you now?
Well, what I can say is that what we're experiencing right now is a microcosm of, what life really is, right? Every day you set out, you go to work, you go to see people, you have a plan for each day of your life. And sometimes life throws wrenches at you, and none of the things that you plan to do or wanted to do can happen. And so you have to be adaptable. You can't let that affect your mood, right? These are just the things of life. And the good thing about life is that life is filled with opportunities. It always gives you another opportunity to do something better and better each time, and just take those opportunities to be better and stronger. And, I wasn't able to deliver this video today, but I will.
Okay, what can you say to someone who's there, like following you and want to know of you and change their life if they're in the same situations where you are?
So, um, I'll start by saying that I experienced a very hard 19 months, and during those 19 months, through doing this program and starting with prayer every single morning, I was able to change my circumstances around me, right? In the flesh, nothing really changed, right? There were the same old bills, looking for jobs, all those kinds of things were always there. Problems just don't go away. But what does change is how you confront those problems and how you address them and how you get through those issues day after day. And what I started finding was that, yeah, those things were a constant. The thing that wasn't a constant was my attitude, my behavior, the things that I did day after day, despite those circumstances. I never let those circumstances define me. And I always, always, always push through whatever, life threw at me. And, life is an ongoing battle. We're all works in progress. And my finest moment is yet to come.
And how will you present your the 60 paths to someone who is new?
Well, what I would do is I would explain to them that that you have to start somewhere, right? There are different paths, but all those paths have to be done together, right? Because it's doing each one of those things that helps you um, in every, in every lane. And when you do all those things and they culminate together, you start to experience transformation, right? Because stillness gives you the opportunity to get quiet and to think and just define time and space for yourself, right? And then you go right into the scalar dreamer path. Scaling dreaming is about creating big, hairy, ambitious goals and trying to do things that are not possible when you first look at them, right? The debt.
I can see you are screaming. Can you see it? Your scream is on the. It's right here.
So can you see that?
Yeah, I can see that.
Can you see this?
I can see that. Yeah.
Awesome. That is fantastic. You know, my mood just went from let's do this. So, you know, it's funny because I was kind of presenting my video. I was presenting it, you know, through my speech, but now I have a video that I can share with you and it's exactly relevant. So I'm just going to tap and pause to make sure you can hear it. Can you hear that? Did you hear that?
We're good. Take it away, Vic.
Yep.
Okay, here we go.
What is your reality? Can you see outside of your circumstances? Can you see and hear woes and dreams? Or is the calamity
Do you hear it?
too great?
Okay.
Stillness can happen if you make it. It's not about where you are. It's about where you choose to go. Just breathe in and out. And it will find you. And when it does, God's promises await. Even in the midst of the worst storm.
So there you have it. Were you able to hear that?
Every bit of it.
So there you have it, folks. You saw live adversity come, and then, you know, we stayed the course and eventually we got through. And this is part of what we do here at 6TP. We're not afraid to fail. I was disappointed that I wasn't able to get my video up, but not once was I, you know, frazzled by that. And where 6TP has helped me the most is exactly in that, you know, as a CFO most of the time of schools and nonprofits, and now the CFO of my own business. Now I'm the CEO of my own business. Like, sorry, I forgot to promote myself. Um, you know, it requires a lot of presentation, and it requires being able to speak and convince and negotiate, and waking up each day to pray and do a prayer for a bunch of people, and to do a podcast, and to do things like this as enhance my creativity. And everyone can grow, everyone has room to grow. And you just saw live here how you can use your creativity to do anything. And now that we know how to get these videos up and running, these are just going to get better and better down the line. You're going to be able to see this video, and you're going to be able to look back and see what the growth was.
Anything else that you want to say today to the people that are watching you?
Well, I did have one more video, but I'm going to forego it today. I'm just going to kind of speak to it. So one of the most important things that you need to be able to do when you're scaling is to be able to have those big, lofty goals and those dreams, right? But how does that happen? How do you go from your goals and dreams to becoming a creator? And the way you do that is you do a thought experiment. Some of the most famous scientists and some of the best scientists to ever walk the earth, the Einsteins, and even philosophers like Plato, ran thought experiments. I was going to show you earlier something about the allegory of the cave, which Plato did, where he basically showed that that people who were tied up, he used an example of someone being tied up in a cave, and all they could see was the shadows and the people going around them. They couldn't really make out the figures. They couldn't make out anything. And eventually, one of those people got freed to go out and see the real world. And when they went out and saw the real world, um, they came back and they saw the shadows differently. And they tried to convince people that there were things outside of that cave. And the people didn't believe them. The people thought that, that he was crazy. And that's the way it can be when you scale in the way that we're trying to, with these crazy, hairy, ambitious goals. People are going to laugh at you. They're going to think that the things that you're trying to do are out there. They're going to try to convince you that you don't have the skills. And you have to be grounded. You have to be like the person that left the cave and be able to know what you saw outside of the cave. And you need to be able to bring that back into the cave and be convincing and show the world. And to do that, it's very important to do thought experiments. See, this is why we believe in affirmations and visualization, right? Because you need to be able to see your goals. You need to be able to feel your goals. I've been dreaming about going to Hawaii, and whenever I go to a beach, I sit there and I try to visualize what that tropical environment feels like. Sometimes I do that in my shower. And you need to be able to have those experiments where you feel things happening. When we discovered that things drop at the same rate from the sky, right? Someone had to visualize what it was like to have a grape and an orange fall onto a table and see it how it went through the sky and how it landed on that table. And that's where you start questioning, does it really go down at that same velocity, or will one land faster than the other because it's heavier? And they learned eventually, when they finally tried it, that all objects fall at the same velocity and land at the same time. And we need to be that way with our goal setting, with our planning. We need to be able to think, um, and if you're faithful the way I know that I am, and the way I know that many of you are, you need to be able to see beyond your capacity. You need to be able to see beyond what the naked eye lets you see. You can see the moon and the stars from where you are, but you can't see the galaxy because you don't have a telescope. And I put on my faith telescope all the time. I let the Lord let me see beyond what I think is possible. And you will realize good things, and you will see great things happen in your life when you're faithful and you pursue the unimaginable.
And how will you take today one person, any whatever that person is, from the 60p completely to the stillness to the authorship path? How will be that program today?
So basically, you would spend some time in stillness. You would spend some time scaling. We always aim to be interactive in all that we do. So we go around, we let people here share their ideas and share some of their experiences. Um, and then we actually talk about things that we're creating based on those big goals and dreams. And it's not just creating, but it's creating with purpose and with clear deadlines and intention. And we're not just also scaling for ourselves, we're trying to create things that make an impact. And one of the ways that we make an impact is through our authorship path, and it is through um, going and having athletic productivity and being able to share the results of your vitals, being able to show how far you ran and the impact that that had on you, and tracking that you were once able to run 2 miles and now you're running 10 miles. At my peak, I ran 13.2 miles. I ran a half a marathon, which was one of the greatest achievements in my life. All of that, all of those things are neat stories that can be shared in a book, that can be used to inspire other people to maybe do something themselves. Maybe it's not just to run a half a marathon, but maybe it's somebody who sits in their chair all day and has poor health results, and just by getting up and doing walking from one end of the driveway to the other, maybe that in itself gets their blood flowing differently and starts pumping their heart, and all of a sudden you start seeing diabetes being defeated, obesity being defeated. And when you share things like that, you inspire others to be great themselves. And my platform, the Sir Persevere platform, is all about making people better, mentally, physically, and spiritually, because I think that that's a subcomponent of what we do here in 6TP and the Six Paths, right? That's definitely within what we're doing. And the last path is the thinker path, right? One of the best ways to get the brain to work better is to stimulate it, right? Anything that is stimulated always um, it is stronger than it was before. And so we stimulate our minds daily by reading different books. We've read about 18 books in 24 months. And the conversations that we have about those books sometimes leave me wondering, what am I going to do next? And they have a real impact on me. And that's how it all comes together.
Excellent. Good. Is there anything you want to add before we end up the streaming?
Yeah, I just want to end with my favorite saying, which came to life today. My favorite saying, which I'm going to make famous, worldwide famous, is that when I'm losing, I'm just starting to win. And today, I was really losing, right? We couldn't get anything to work, but I think this turned out okay, and we won.
All right, 60p is live from wherever you are. 60p is your Stillness and Wellness Club. It's the operation system for wellness, leaderships, and we follow the 60p's in the last 2 years, and we changed completely by working in the thinker paths, bringing the best author, applying the knowledge, and bringing the best so we can be for all for you, just wherever you are and change your life. So that presentation was by Victor Catano. We also have in the team Rosario Van Reyes and Gregory Denisarts. In the studio is Marta. She's right there. She's listening to everything, but she's getting ready to prepare herself. And with this, we finish our streaming from Connecticut, from um, New York City, from Kissimmee, Orlando, so that you can enjoy it. You can be part of this amazing process with us. You know, you just can go and become a member. You can go to school. If you start a school foundation, school foundation is the best way to start. You go to s60pswclub.com at school, and for 9.99 you can become a member of the club. You can do the 60p wherever you are. You can come at 6 a.m. at 7 a.m. You can call our coaches wherever they are. You can have a conversations in how to go become a member. So this is live, this is not perfection, but we want to be you for you anytime, that every moment, every day count, and we want to make it count for you. If you're in a process of finding yourself, having a big dreams, you don't know how to start exercise, you don't know how to have a long time and you don't read, and you're gonna have the habits to read a book, you want to be a published author one day, this is the best way to start. Use foundation. It's 9.99. You can also be a part of a community with a coach that's gonna be assigned for you for 1.99, or you can come with a licensed professional, um, and one-on-one encounter bi-weekly or per month. You're gonna have a licensed professional or a licensed coach that's gonna be dedicated to your 1 year contracts. With this, we thank you, Victor, for your patience, Rosaura and Gregory, and I will say you bye bye. And tomorrow we're gonna have Gregor Denisar is gonna be our 65 certified 60p coach. And thank you very much. Bye bye.
Let's stay, everybody.